I was asked if I had been taking pictures or videoing with the progress of my Anastasia Coronation gown, the gown from the end of the 1997 animated movie. I had not been doing that, so I'm going to try to do kind of a little catch-up, show what patterns and fabrics and stuff I've used for this. I'm not done. I started this in, let's see, this is 2022, so back at the beginning of 2021, I guess. Full intentions of having it for Dragon Con last year, and that just didn't happen. I just ran out of time. So I've been working on it, and I will have it for Dragon Con 2022 in 2 months. Can't wait. It's going to be so much fun. Obviously, this video will not show everything from the very beginning. I've got the patterns. I can show what patterns I use, the fabrics, where I'm at, and what I still have to do. And that's about the best I can do at this point, because I am much closer to the finish line than I am from the start line, thank goodness. But I'll do my best, still learning, so I hope that this video will help someone else. We'll see. The fabrics that I'm using for Anastasia's dress I got in 2 different places. The main gold fabric for the gown I got at fabric.com. I'm not exactly sure what type of material this is. Maybe a sateen, I don't know. I don't know that much about fabrics. It's not super heavy. It's not super light. I mean, it is a light fabric, but it's not super light. It does have, you know, some drape to it and some movement to it, but I didn't want anything super heavy, even though that probably would have been a bit more authentic, because I am wearing this at a Dragon Con in late summer in Georgia, and I did not want to die. So tried to find something kind of in the middle. It has this really, really pretty gold shimmer to it. I really liked the way this looked once I got it. I did order a swatch before I ordered the whole bit of it. I would always suggest doing that when you cannot go to a store and put your hands on the fabric, just so you can see it and, you know, drape it over your hands or something, just to see how the fabric is going to move in its true thickness. But it's really pretty, really shiny. I really like it. You can see it does have a little bit of texture to it, so that is nice. You know, that's the fashion side, that's, you know, the underside, but that is the main part of her dress. And then the pink part, which is the contrast in the skirt, the trim at the top of her bodice, and then some of the trim on the bodice and the skirt. I found this fabric. This is from Joanns. This is a really fun fabric. They have this in a lot of different colors, so you know, if you just like this fabric and you have some other project in mind, this is a really cool one. But it has the 2 sides. It has this solid color side, as you can see, hope at least. It does have a little bit of sparkle, a little bit of kind of glitter. And then the underside has, lots and lots of glitter, lots of sparkle. This glitter does come off. I will warn you that. One of my friends found some of the glitter on their phone after I had been hanging out with them for a little while earlier this week. So this does get everywhere, so just keep that in mind. But I am using mainly this side of the fabric, as much as the glitter is so much fun. It doesn't really look like what her dress looked like in the movie. I am using that side for some of the trim, which I will show in just a little bit. But the main part of it is this, and it does have some sparkle. So that will be really pretty, and it is coming together really pretty. The sleeves, I am using 2 different chiffons, white and a light pink. If you see pictures of her, in some pictures the underside of her sleeves almost looks, you know, kind of dark like this, and in others it doesn't look so dark, and I didn't want something quite that dark, so I just went with a pale pink, just so there was some contrast there. But those sleeves are sewn and ready to go and be attached to the cap sleeves on the bodice. Okay, this is the, I guess you'd say, the main pattern that I found to use for Anastasia's coronation gown. I guess that's what you call it. This is the McCalls 3681. I went with this one because the patterns did have this opening in the front, just like her dress does. You've got fabric with trim on each side, and then like an underskirt looking portion here, which is, you know, what I wanted. And it had the, you know, the princess seams here, so that I'd be able to do that contrasting color in the middle here that would match the trim here. Obviously her dress doesn't have sleeves like this. It has cap sleeves like this. So I was using this piece from this part of the pattern with the rest of this, but you know, in the movie, not only does she have just little cap sleeves, she has those nice big full flowing sleeves. So I had to find a pattern with something like that, and a friend suggested a Galadriel pattern. So I got this one, which is Simplicity 1551, and I used this pattern for the sleeves. Now hers are not that long, and since I plan on wearing this at DragonCon, I didn't want such huge sleeves, so I took the pattern and shortened it to be a bit more like what I wanted. I suppose it probably might have been really pretty to have these super long sleeves, but that wasn't really what I was going for. But I used that pattern for that, and those are the two patterns that I used for the dress. This is where I probably wish I had filmed some of this when I was making it, but I'm at the part where I'm sewing the bodice together, and if you've ever made one or made a vest, you know that once you get your fashion fabric part sewn together and then your lining, that you pin them together, right sides together, sew them all up, and then you have to leave a section open so that you can turn the whole thing right side out. That's really a pain. I've done it with vests. Looks like I'll be doing it with this one, but I've sewn the top part of the lining together. But as you can see, let me pull this up a little bit. I know this video is not going to look real good, but obviously I had to put the trim on the bodice before I could sew the boning and stuff in. So that's the trim on that, on the contrasting, and the little sleeves, which I do have a little bit of concern about the weight of the big long sleeves. Are going to pull that down, but I guess I have to worry about that later. But all that's in there. For the main part of the boning in here, it is it's a steel boning because it is a bit flexible. I had tried to use this plastic boning, but it's just, it only bends one way, and you know, with these seams I needed something that I could kind of manipulate. So the steel boning I was able to do for that. Now the pattern has it closing up in the back with buttons, and I just didn't really like that. So just to make things more difficult on myself, I decided I wanted to make it a lace-up bodice. So I did get some kind of a sew-through boning. At least I hope it's going to work that way. And I've attached it to this, and at least I hope this is going to work. It kind of works in my head. But put this here so that once it's turned inside out and I punch the holes for the grommets for the lacing, this will keep the edges, you know, this edge from fraying, the holes from fraying, things like that. It just will, hopefully will give it some support for the lacing, and I did that on both sides. So in my head that works. Hopefully that will work when it comes together. But I do have this side sewn up. I stopped so that I could do this, but that is that part of the bodice, and then I'll just sew this together and flip it right side out, hopefully. Excuse the mess all around. I'm not the tidiest person when it comes to my sewing stuff, but this is Anastasia's skirt. It's basically done, if you want to say. I mean, it's together. Obviously, it still has to be hemmed, but that's not going to happen until I have my shoes and have everything ready so that I can get that exactly where I want it. But I may redo the waistband or something. I'm not exactly happy with the way that looks, but it is together. As you can see, there is the really pretty shimmery pink fabric. Really shines. That glitter catches a little bit. Just used a white satin for the edge, and then of course my really gorgeous gold fabric. It flows so pretty when I walk, and I do have that to wear underneath it. That's going to be fun. I think I'm going to keep it a tad bit longer in the back just so it has, so it can trail behind me a little bit. I don't know. That might not be a great idea to do at Drawing Con. But this will line up, hopefully, with the contrast on the bodice in the center of the bodice. And the trim is going to come down right along this white section. And if you've seen the movie, you know she's got like gold swirls with pink in the middle. And so I took the fabric, and this is where I'll be using the glitter side of that pink fabric, just because I thought it would be fun to have the glitter all over it. And that'll be sewn on along with, sorry about that, the trim all the way down. And to make sure it has a little bit more sparkle, I will be adding, I have leftover from the crown, still have lots of my, and I'm going to completely butcher the name of it, but the Swarovski crystals. Sorry if I really butchered that, but I do have a lot of that left. So I will be gluing, and they're little, they're really tiny. I'm going to be gluing those just randomly on the gold and on the pink, just so that as I move, it will, you know, catch the light and sparkle. You know, there's my cat. Hi, cat. You know, she has the sash there in that last bit. So I found this really pretty blue kind of velvet, crushed velvet, which is really soft. I really like it. I found a pretty little pin off of Amazon. No. Mistake. This came from a seller on Etsy. I know in the movie she has it fastened up here and comes down, but I don't know if I'm going to like having all this up here, so I may switch that so that it gathers down here at my hip instead. That'll be something I work out later. And probably one of my favorite bits of this costume is the crown that I absolutely adore. I ordered the base crown, I think they call them, again, I'm probably going to butcher the name, but a Cocoschnick crown off of Etsy, and it was actually made in Russia. It's adjustable, so that will go. I will have to wear a wig. But once I got it, I hand glued all of the crystals on here. I try to do it in as straight as possible, just because the way it glitters in the movie looks, you know, like lines straight up and down. I did end up buying accidentally 2 different colors of the crystals. That's why there's a little bit of a difference in it. But when it's all together and it's catching the light, it's really sparkly, and I absolutely love it. So hopefully that difference will not be too noticeable. My original plan had been to cover a necklace and bracelet for her, but then I decided that was just taking too long. So I did end up buying off of Amazon. That's where Amazon came in. Amazon's great. Bracelet and necklace, a choker style necklace to wear with it. I just couldn't glue anything else on. I mean, I had started gluing it on, and it sparkles really nicely, but I just couldn't do that anymore. So these are really pretty. I have some earrings as well. So I've never gotten to be a princess before, and I'm really looking forward to being all sparkly. But that is where I'm at with Anastasia. And I'm going to finish, there's my cat again, finish sewing this together now, all the way along here, and then leave this section open so I can hopefully turn this right side out, and I will have pretty much a completed bodice. I'll have to add this on afterward, but yeah, so that's where I am. I'm still stressed about it because that's just me, and I'm OCD and want everything to look as close to the movie as the reference material as possible, so I'm really stressed about everything, but so far so good. I think I am nervous about this. This is what I've been nervous about the whole time, so we're gonna see how that goes. So I will try to make another video to show how that turns out if I'm not in complete tears by that point. Okay, again, excuse the mess. Just is a working space, and I have family, so, but wanted to share. I got the bodice turned inside out. It's not laced up. I don't have that sewn in. It's just clipped right now, so it's not nearly as tight, especially up here, as it would be because I'm not a contortionist and can't reach it. But it is together. This matches up pretty good right here in the front. I'm so excited. Obviously still have to add the sleeves over here. Gonna probably have to work on this because I don't like the way this flops like that, and I know the weight of the sleeves, even being chiffon, is going to pull that down. I still have the trim to put up here and the trim down here, and to hem it, and I am going to do some extra work on the waistband because I don't like it, but I am just, I just don't even have words. I think I cried some happy tears, but it is together as best as I can get it with it not being laced up. It turned right side out without a problem. So, okay, I am feeling so much better about this. I get to be a princess this year. I've never gotten to be a princess, so I know the video quality is not good. I'm still learning. I'm doing this all by myself, but you know, I don't have my hoop on underneath this, but oh my gosh, y'all, I am so excited right now. Yeah. All right, so hopefully maybe some of my tips will help someone down the road if they want to make a ball gown like this, but yeah, I'll do another one when I get a little bit further and get the lacing in and some more of the trim and everything, but oh, I'm so excited. I'm gonna have this for Dragon Con.